Hey guys, what's up? So let's get wireless. So today I'm checking out a product from this brand called Xvive, or Xvive, I think it's Xvive. And they sent me this A58 guitar wireless system. Now there isn't much to this product in terms of anything to really go, oh my god, this is revolutionary, this is a game changer. That's not really what this is. This is more like, hey, there are some budget options for guitar wireless systems that tout that they are able to basically be stage-ready products, and we're gonna test that. So first things first, I gotta open this up, see what it looks like, get a feel for the quality, and then plug it in and see if it even works. And then hopefully later on in this video, you'll get to see me actually use this in a live setting, and I'll give my verdict on whether or not this was, you know, something that you should actually be out there using on a stage. So let's get to that. All right, so first up, it was really easy to open. Didn't even have like any tape or anything on it. Hey, look at that. Comes with some stickers. Not exactly certain what that is. Maybe there's multiple channels here. I'll have to look into that. One thing that's somewhat impressive right off the bat is a very nice and easy to, you know, recognize carrying case. So when you do actually take this in your gig bag, you have somewhere to put it and it's not just floating around getting smashed up. So first things first, I'm actually going to just peek at the manual here just to make sure that I'm aware of what it is that I'm even working with here, because I didn't realize that there were stickers involved. So here's some quick just specifications. It is a 5.8 gigahertz frequency band. That is different from like your standard Wi-Fi frequency band. It's a slightly higher frequency band than the 2.4 of the old, you know, technology. It should really not be interfered with by anything because 5.8 is kind of proprietary to this type of communication device. It says it can go more than 100 feet. We'll see if that's true. Low latency. It says less than 5 milliseconds. Well, 5 milliseconds is actually kind of a lot if you've ever recorded, but we'll see how it actually performs. It says it transmits 24-bit 480, so it basically says it's recording quality audio. 6 wireless channels, so maybe those stickers are for channels. So there's actually channels on this thing, which is a bit of a step up from some of the more budget options that I've tried before. And it says it can last up to 5 hours on a single charge of battery, so we'll see if that's true as well. So this is kind of a nice feature. They do kind of tell you what the frequency chart is, or what the frequencies are in each channel. And every channel is independent and has its own frequency. Even though this is a 5.8 gigahertz module, what you really got going on is on any single channel that you have, like channel 1 is 5,730 megahertz, 5842, and then 5844. All those are operable on channel 1. And then all the rest of the channels have varying degrees of difference when it comes to frequency. So, you know, they're all independent channels, 6 independent channels, and they won't interfere with each other. If you have multiple of these and you're running them on stage, they won't, you know, they just won't interact. So that's kind of cool. Let me open this up so we can kind of actually see what's going on. Okay, so first up, here's the modules themselves. Transmitter and receiver. I will say, just holding on to them, feeling them in my hand, they are a bit more of a rugged feel than some of the other kind of budget brand ones that I've had in the past that have ultimately kind of failed in terms of just structure. Like, you know, they basically just broke by dropping and or stepping on them. These feel a little bit more robust. The mechanism on the pivot here is very solid and tight, not loose. And the 1/4-inch jacks actually look decent. I've had a couple where the 1/4-inch jacks didn't quite fit well inside of a 1/4-inch output jack on a guitar. We'll see if these are any different. I like that these are clearly labeled, transmitter and receiver. I'm still not certain what the sticker markings are for on this particular unit. I don't know if it, I guess if I had to guess, these would probably be for if you had multiple units and you wanted to label which ones are going to be set up for which band. That's probably what that is. I'm gonna keep it on one on both, obviously, so they match up. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and plug these in to my guitar here and into my Line 6 Helix that's going into the power section of this 5150. And I'm just gonna make sure that it works, and then I'm gonna walk around my garage here and just make sure it does the thing. And then we'll go on to hopefully some footage from my upcoming gig here, and I'll get to tell you all about that. Okay, so I got it plugged into my guitar, which is this Dunnable Yeti DE that I reviewed like a week or so ago. And I have it hooked into my Line 6 on the floor. So right off the bat, the module here has a rubber padding on the back of it, so when you sit it up against your guitar, you're not rubbing plastic on wood. That's a cool feature. It allows you to either go, you know, kind of like this. Do you want to go like this, or do you want to go to the back of the guitar? I've had a few of these units that were made where the fulcrum point is such an awkward thing, and it's built in such a way that I can't really get it to move in a way I like it. This one's pretty good. 4 units there. Test out. I'm on channel 1 of the receiver and the transmitter. Does it work? Definitely works. I'm gonna go ahead and walk out to the edge of my garage over here, see if we still get good signal, and, you know, check the latency. Works just fine. I'm only about maybe 14 to 16 feet going that way. I'm actually going to walk into my house, and I'm going to walk into my kitchen, which is a good 40 feet, and we'll see if it still works. Okay, so going about what would be like, you know, diagonally from where I'm sitting now, probably about 40 feet through about 3 different walls, all filled with electronic stuff. It did start to break up once I got into like my kitchen area, but that's still pretty impressive for a budget unit like this to go through like 3 walls and you know, through a bunch of Wi-Fi and electronic stuff, and this still put the signal out. It only started to break up once I got to the very edge of, you know, what would be expected. I think my expectation for this on a stage is going to be perfectly fine, and so let's move on to the footage from my upcoming gig, and hopefully we get some good results and I can come back and talk to you guys about this product. Hey guys, what's up? So I'm here at the venue getting ready to play. I got the Xvive wireless system here in Napa, California. I'm gonna plug it directly into my pedal board, and then we'll see how it does.
Wonder where I've been. You're so certified in love with me. I can't wait to let you go. Got a thing for you.
I played the full 2-hour gig using the Xvive A58s, and not once did they ever have an issue with connectivity. The latency was immediate. There was no real delay in the response. And these things outlasted even my camera battery, and they're still got plenty of charge on them, seemingly. And I thought they were great. So the Xvive A58s, I think, are a very good investment value and pretty robust. I had no qualms about how they held up in terms of kind of being thrown around the stage. On my pedal board, as I moved it around, I didn't have any issues thinking that they were going to get broken. I think they're pretty stellar. So I'm going to drop a link below to where you can get these, and hopefully you guys got something out of this. Xvive A58's pretty killer.